Hey everyone, welcome to Pluto. Today let's talk about functions. In JavaScript, we can write a function in different ways. One of the ways to write a function is to use a function declaration. Now, let's see if we want to write a function that greets people. Okay, I'm going to use the function declaration syntax here. Now, this is a function that greets people. Okay, let me just invoke it. Now, to invoke it, we are going to need a set of parentheses. And now if I run it, says hello, basic stuff. Now we can write a function in another method as well, something called a function expression. Now the syntax looks something like this. Now this is the same function name. It's assigning to a variable. It uses the function keyword, and then it follows with whatever execution we have to do. Okay. If I invoke it, it's the same, no difference at all. Now there's another method as well. We can use something called an arrow function syntax. Now to write it, we are going to use a variable assignment as well. And the syntax looks something like this. A set of brackets and then an arrow and curly braces. It's also going to output the same. Now, let me show you something interesting. What if I just print what's stored inside this variable named greet? Let's take a look at that. Now, notice that I'm not invoking the function. I'm not using the curly brace. I'm just logging the variable itself. Okay. Now it says function greet. That's not really useful. So let me just try to convert it to a string. See, we can see that it stores the function definition in an arrow function syntax. Okay, so this variable is storing the function definition for the function named greet. Now, if we change this to a function expression, it's going to output the function expression. Now, if I change it to a function declaration, it's still going to output the function declaration. Now, in these three methods, the definition changes, but the value that is stored in the greet variable stays the same. Now, keep that thought in mind. Let me just show you something called callback functions. Callback functions are functions that are passed into other functions as variables. Okay. Now imagine we have a function or a login function. You run a company and employees are able to log into your system, and depending on the role of the employee, we have to run different functions. So if a manager logs in, we have to run a function that is related to a manager. If somebody else other than the manager logs in, we have to run some other function. So let me write it real quick. Now, the first argument we have to pass in is the role. And the second argument is another function, which is something we have to invoke if the role is a manager. So let me just call it manager function. And the other argument is an employee function. We have to run in case if the role is not a manager. So role is equal to manager. We're going to invoke the manager function. Now, as of now, we don't know the manager function. We don't know what the manager function does, but we are trusting that it's going to be a function, and we are invoking it with a parenthesis. Now let's write the manager function and the employee function. Let me just copy and paste this here. So this is a say hi to manager function. It just prints out hello manager. And for the employee function, I have a very interesting function which says hello employee. Now let me pass in these functions to the login function. Now it says role, and I'm going to pass in manager. And for the manager function, I'm going to pass in this say hi to manager function. And for the employee function, I'm going to pass in this say hi to employee function. Now notice that I'm not providing the parentheses here because I don't want to invoke it. JavaScript is smart enough to know that this is a function, and in this variable we are passing the function definition we wrote here. That's why I showed you this earlier. This greet.toString method showed that this greet variable stores the function definition. Now this say hi to manager stores the function definition of that function. Now if I invoke it, it says hello manager. If I say admin, it says hello employee. Now the arrow function syntax I showed earlier can be used to pass callback functions inline. That is, I can write a function inside this parentheses. I can just say console.log. Now if I run it, it says hello employee. So that's it. That's pretty much about this video. I hope you learned something new here. See you guys in the next one.